Good morning. Welcome to Atlantic Blowout. Blowout is a syndicated live program of the network featuring chit-chatting and conversation on special interest topics, news, events, and stories through correspondence reports, experts' opinion, and stakeholders' analysis. Today, we'll be looking at these stories. Borno State. Residents know those behind these attacks, and this is coming from the CDS. Kano State. Sao needs to lead Salah Debra, and this is coming from government. Police brutality. Court grants Nigerians rights to record police. And in insecurity, AU rallies support against terrorism. Still on insecurity, Gumi implicates government on counter-terrorism. Politics. Okonkwo faults Tinubu's UK visit with Defense Minister. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on X, Atlantic TV Net. Also watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We're going for a short commercial break, and when I return, I will introduce my guest for today. Troublemaker. Welcome back, still on Atlantic Television, Blowout. Having in the studio with me today is none other than a troublesome troublemaker, Samo Woji. Good morning, Samo.
Good morning, Tonya. I hope you're not going to bully me today.
Well, let's see how it goes. Let's see who's going to bully who. Let's see who's bullying who. All right, let's get into today's details. Chief of Defense Staff General Olufemi Oluyede has said ending the Boko Haram insurgency requires involvement of Borno and Yobe people. The CDS said this in Maiduguri, Borno state capital, when he, alongside the Chief of Army Staff, General Weda Shaibu, relocated to Maiduguri on the directives of President Bola Tinubu to take direct charge of the situation in the state. President Tinubu gave the directive following the multiple explosions that rocked Borno, resulting in deaths and injuries. He said to bring the Boko Haram crisis to an end, all hands must be on deck, and the communities must resolve that the situation should come to an end. We must take ownership of this crisis. That is my message to the people of Yobe and Borno, he insisted. On terrorists using drones and advanced technology in attacking the military bases and civilians' locations, he said it is something that is evolving and are responsible with German drones and are getting more of the drones. Recall that Boko Haram terrorists have intensified attacks on both military and civilian locations. Sami, do you agree? I mean, I know from your previous statements that you've mentioned that security is a personal or a combined effort between residents and then security forces. So would you or do you agree with the CDS in saying that the people of Borno State and Yobe State should also get involved in securing their lives? Because some of these people know who the insurgents are. Because obviously they are from these communities. So it could be somebody's brother, sister, a neighbor. They sure do have information on some of these terrorists that are causing havoc in these states.
Well, Tonya, like I have always said, and I'll keep on saying, security is a local business. Crime is local. And from the statement of the CDS, what he's trying to say is to appeal to the people of Borno to give the necessary intelligence required for the capture of these insurgents. Because, like I said, crime is local, yeah? And I bet you there are people, residents in the localities where the crime are being committed, that know where these hoodlums, where these insurgents hide out. But because of, out of some misguided sense of loyalty to, maybe familiarity and whatnot, they would not, want to, reveal where these guys are hiding out. So what the Chief of Defense Staff is trying to say is an opinion I agree with, that crime is local and should be treated as such. And local stakeholders, community leaders, youths, men, women, should be actively involved, in the process of crime fighting, right? And when I mean actively involved, I'm not saying they should carry guns. I'm not saying they should carry weapons and go out and look for the insurgents. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying here is they should give credible intelligence, because they have the intelligence, they have the network to be able to procure such intelligence. They should give intelligence to the security operatives to flush out these criminals. So yeah, that's my opinion on this.
Okay, I think I will agree with you in saying that fighting crime is local, right? But what I do not agree with you is the fact that you're saying the people are supporting this terrorist group.
No, that's not what I said.
Or might be supporting.
That's not what I said.
What did you say?
Don't quote me wrong.
You think I'm letting me finish. Okay, so what did you say?
You're already quoting me.
What did you say? What did you say?
What I said is that sometimes, you understand, I was not specific.
Okay, so sometimes
I'm speculating.
Okay.
I said, or let me use the word hypothetically. Part of the reasons why intelligence is not being given is out of some sense of familiarity with the people perpetrating those crimes. And if you look at the arrest of most criminals, right? Most criminals that are renowned for their criminal activities, how do they get to these people? Most times it's through family members, through relationship with the opposite gender. That's how they get them. Do you understand me? So these people have people that no matter how hidden they are, no matter how secure they are, they have people they relate to. Because these people are criminals. They just don't come out in the open. They need people that are not so criminally branded to get them certain things like food, water, and the rest of it. And what are those people? Those people will be the people residing within the localities. And that's the truth. Anybody that wants to argue with that means the person is not up to date on criminal intelligence. That's the truth. These people need access to get certain things, no matter how hidden they might be, right? They need certain things like food, clean water, clothes, and what have you. And the people to get these things are people that reside within the locality.
Okay.
So that's my point.
All right. So what I was driving to is the fact that you said sometimes, by speculating, sometimes these communities, the people living there, are prone due to sentimental reasons to help out these terrorist groups. But have we also looked at the fact that the people's mistrust in our governments, the people's mistrust in the protection from our security forces could also be a driving force behind their assisting of these terrorist groups? I mean, whether we like it or not, sometimes these terrorist groups would, yes, they are causing havoc and they should be caught. But sometimes as well, for some reason, either through threats or through them also, it's like, how do I put it? The devil giving you with the right hand and taking with the left hand. They give these people some sort of either fear or assurances by meeting their needs that the government or the state is not meeting. So they are prone to help out these individuals. Sometimes also, if the same local people give information to the security operatives, they cannot guarantee their lives being protected. and then the retribution that comes with that also, have them losing their lives in the process, and in the lives of their loved ones. Have you taken a look at this angle as well?
So wait, Tony, what you're trying to say is that the people trust the terrorists more than the government. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that you are speculating that the people are assisting due to sentimental reasons. And I'm asking, have you also looked at this angle? I mean, it's a two-way street. There could be different reasons why the people could be aiding. I mean, it does not make sense that this person is causing havoc to your state, killing people, destroying properties. Look at the numbers of people being killed on a daily. So if I have a brother that I know is involved in such atrocities, what will prevent me from giving out information to security operatives? If not for the fact that my life is being threatened and I cannot rely on the protection of the government, or maybe due to their criminal giving me something the government can make me hung. Security. What I'm asking is this: instead of refocusing and putting the blame solely on the people, have we tried to look at other reasons why they will be in support or assisting these groups?
Well, first of all, I have not seen, maybe you can tell me, you're a journalist, but I have not seen terrorists carry out philanthropic or charitable works. I have not seen. If you have, maybe you could mention it. But like I said, I have not seen. So the whole benefiting from the proceeds, to me, sounds alien, because I have not seen where terrorists carry out charitable works. Have you seen? No, okay. You see, you can inform us. I mean, this is a national television. If you've seen, you can inform Nigerians. Have you seen? Have you? If you've seen terrorists care for the welfare of the people, you can tell us. Have you? Stop, no. We're having a discussion.
I mean, Sammy, this is not a time to antagonize. I'm asking.
I'm not antagonizing. I said I have not. I said I have not seen.
So finish with your statement.
No, I said I made a statement.
You seem smart.
Yeah, I did.
You asked me a question, and I'm supposed to be asking the question, but you always find a way to throw it back at me. That's where the smell comes from. But
I said I have not seen.
Okay, can you continue with the statement?
And you smirked at me like I'm saying something ridiculous.
Were you expecting me to answer? I thought it was rhetoric.
No, it's not.
I'm not answering. Please go ahead with your statement.
Okay, so like I said, I have not seen terrorists carry out charitable works. All of those wreak mayhem and cause havoc, right? So the idea that a group of community, a group of people are benefiting from the havoc, wreaked on by terrorists. I mean, it sounds, I don't know, but it sounds somehow in my ear, because I have not seen these people carry out charitable works. So I don't understand where the whole benefits come from, right? Now, moving on to your next question, which is out of fear for loss of life and whatnot. These guys attack communities, and there's no rationale behind the attack. Honestly, there's no rationale behind the attack. Today they're attacking the Muslim community, the next day they're attacking the Christian community, today they're attacking the church, the next day they're attacking the mosques, attacking farmers and what have you. So there's no rationale. There's no word of assurance to guarantee your safety. Just like death, destruction, mayhem, and causing havoc here and there. So it makes no sense to actually rely on the whatever promises of safety and protection these guys will give you, because there's no rationale behind the attacks. There's no reason for the attacks. They like death and destruction, and no matter how many promises they give you, there will come a time when it will be difficult for them to wreak mayhem, and they will do to the closest people around them, and which is the people that are safeguarding them or the people that are protecting the information. So the best thing to do is to face the bull by the horn and work with the security agencies to curb this mayhem once and for all.
Are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, so to recap your sentiments, to recap your statements, what you're trying to say is that these people who are losing their lives, properties being displaced, and are facing all sorts of unimaginable discomfort due to terrorist group attacks, are due to just sentiments without benefiting, out of sentiments, out of misplaced priorities, would choose to protect and defend these people. I think you were the one, last time we had a discussion on this table where we were discussing the rehabilitation of some individuals who were forced by terrorist groups after being kidnapped from their homes and are being subjected to some sort of slavery within, that...
I've never had that discussion.
You've never had that discussion with me? Okay, no problem. I think after that we'll talk about it. Where the rehabilitation of some of these individuals, because they were kidnapped and forced to serve these terrorist groups, right? They were taken from their homes, brought into these forests, and then are being sent on errands, the same errands you just described, maybe clean water, clothing, foods, people that didn't be suspected, to be involved in terrorist attacks, unassuming people. Would you also say that these people are also assisting out of the goodness of their hearts?
Well, Tonya, I don't know why you're twisting my statements.
I'm just asking. No, this is a follow-up question. I do not know why you think I'm always twisting your words or what's not.
I made a statement earlier.
But please, can you... No, for the sake of clarity.
No, I'm here and no, listen, I'm here, I'm not there.
For the sake of clarity, can you rephrase it without making me seem like I'm antagonizing you or trying to bully you? Because saying I'm twisting your statement, I just asked you.
I made a statement.
Are you aware? You said you're not the one having the discussion.
I ended the question. At the end of your question, you made a statement that seemed like I had opined that the help, whatever help that the terrorists get from local collaborators is out of the goodness of the heart of the local. That's what you said.
I mean, your statement sounded like that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's from sentiment. You said it's from sentiment. From your words, you said it's from sentiments, from sentiments, either because they are related to them or have some sort of familiarity with them.
So is that the goodness of their hearts?
I mean, if obviously, if I know very well that you are involved in criminal activities.
I said they were twisting my statements.
I'm not twisting. I mean, from what I'm saying, that's what it seems like to me. And I'm sure that's not the same way to the viewers.
I'm not there. If you need clarity, you can ask me. I'm here.
Please give me clarity.
If you need clarity on anything I've said, you should ask me. Samuel, I don't understand this. Please explain for it. I don't explain for it.
That's what
that's what you did.
That's what I did.
Make assumptions on my statements and try to make it seem like I'm not sensitive to the needs of the locals. Come on, I shouldn't do that.
Do you want me to apologize?
That's what you're trying to do. I apologize.
Can we come back to the matter on the table?
What is the matter on the table?
The matter on the table, you said you're not opining. Okay, so what are you trying to say? Can you clarify your statement?
I have made so many statements. Regard which one exactly I'm talking about.
Anyway, should we move on?
No. Let's continue this conversation.
I asked you, in your earlier statements, you made it seem, from where I'm seated, it sounded like you feel these locals who are being terrorized on a daily are assisting the terrorist groups due to their sentiments and familiarity. It sounds like that to me. It sounds like, okay, maybe from the goodness of their hearts, they want to assist them out of sentiment.
You shouldn't sound from the...
You cannot tell me how to place my words. It's up to you to defend what you said. I said, from where I'm seated, this is what it looks like to me.
You're not sitting in a very good position.
Well, that's your business. Can you clarify?
You should sit somewhere else.
Can you clarify your statement?
Don't listen.
Okay.
From what I've read, because in my field has to do with things like this, you understand? And from day to day we read a lot about criminal activities and criminal-minded people. Now, listen, a criminal, you understand, or someone that is familiar with the criminal, is more scared of a criminal than the person who is not familiar with him, because he knows what that person is capable of. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, I was looking at it in that light. You get? From the people being familiar, I mean, these people know them. The terrorists are locals. Let's work on the presumption that the terrorists are locals. So the terrorists are locals, they know those who are not buying into their activities and their events, right? The locals also know them. And the locals know firsthand what the terrorists are capable of, because they've seen it, happen everywhere. So, because of that familiarity, because of that sense, the locals are scared.
So you know,
I
this means then
I don't
they could be
agree
doing
with
it out of fear.
No, that,
and so they know very well that these people...
You know, it seems like it's justifiable for the people not to come to the security operatives out of fear for the terrorists.
Now who's twisting what
I said now?
I did not say that. Let me use your words. Let me borrow your words. I'm not dead. First of all, Woji, I'm not dead, right? Second of all,
do you need to watch another conversation?
I think you should.
Do you need to watch another conversation?
So let's get back to what's on ground right now. One thing I do not like is people trying to maneuver. Okay.
Maneuver, really?
Yes, that's what you're trying to do. You're maneuvering. Sammy, look, we are on the same table. We're trying to find solutions to problems in society, right?
Okay.
I'm not the bad guy because I'm asking the hard questions. Do not make me to be the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy. I'm the person trying to find the answers to what we're going through. Okay. Now, what I said is, after you made your statement, I asked you a question. Have we looked at it from different angles? Do you recall me saying that? An angle of fear, where the people, knowing the havoc these people caused, and knowing fully well that the government might not be able to protect them, would want to, that's what I said. So in this instance, you actually agreed with me that out of fear.
The government might not be able to protect them. That seems like you're
justifying. I'm not justifying anything. I'm just stating facts. And the fact is this. So many times we've seen how many hours these terrorist groups will go to these communities for hours to perpetrate their criminal activities, shoot for hours, and then the police officers, the security officials will come after these individuals are gone. So if I've witnessed this thing, if I'm in that state and I've witnessed this thing so many times, time and time again, knowing fully well that these people can perpetrate their criminal activities and go way before the security forces come into play, am I still supposed to trust them with my safety and security?
Okay, Tonya, how about the times where these people, these security operatives intervene almost immediately and curtail attacks?
We give them pros for that, but
so what are you saying now?
Okay, if I put it
to me,
I think you're not getting this picture. We're not trying to defend anything. We're not trying to say the communities are right. No, can we agree to agree? Because honestly, I am vexed. I'm not supposed to be vexed. I'm supposed to keep out sentiments, but people's lives are on the line.
Yes, people's lives are on
the line. So I do not want us to make this political. It's not political. This is not about whatever. When I say government, I'm not even referring to one government.
So
I'm just saying, okay, when I say politics, I'm not talking about political parties. When I say being political with our statements, this is not a time for us to be political right or politically wrong. What I'm saying is this: can we agree that the same way you feel your is on the line, my integrity is also on the line? What I did say is this: the people might not be giving out information or support to the security operatives out of fear, and the fear is justifiable. It's justifiable. I can defend myself anywhere and say that fear is justifiable, because countless times we've heard so many. It's unfortunate that bad news travel faster than good news. Good news do not get to be heard. What we see on the daily is the number of times these people have perpetrated their crimes and gotten away with it. We've heard that so many times, more often than we've heard police arresting or police intervening when these things are happening. So many times. Can we agree on that? Can we agree to disagree? Sammy, stop trying to make this thing about me. It's not about me.
No, because
all right. I don't see us coming to conclusive.
I know for a fact that yes, people have lost their life as a result of terror attacks. I know that for a fact. You understand? And it pains me to see people losing their life because to me these are senseless attacks. They're very, very much senseless attacks, and it pains me to see people dying, people being killed, properties being burnt and destroyed because of things that makes no sense to me, right? But I have also seen the efforts of our security operatives to nip it in the bud. I have seen where they respond to attack situations almost immediately, fight and subdue the insurgents. In fact, is it yesterday or the day before? Our Nigerian army in Borno killed about 75 ISWAP members and arrested some others and took the weapons. Are you aware?
Yes, I was aware of that.
That's what I'm saying.
And then also at the same time we also saw situations whereby in Maiduguri, bombing attacks.
This was after the bombing.
I know. After that,
this killing of ISWAP happened after the bombing.
I know that.
So what I'm trying to say is that irrespective of the fact that there have been losses on our side in terms of the security operatives not coming as at when they should to prevent the attacks. We have also seen where they respond almost immediately to call attacks and counter whatever attacks that the insurgents are putting on, right? So saying that yes, the fear of the people is justifiable, the fear of the people is justifiable, the fear of the terrorists is justifiable by the people, no doubt. But I don't think, and I'll say it anyway, I don't think that refusal to collaborate with the security operatives is justifiable. That's why I don't agree with you. Fear of the terrorists is justifiable, true, but refusal to collaborate with security operatives, I don't think is justifiable, and that's my point.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. Let's move on quickly to our next story. Kano State government has announced that the Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, will lead this year's Eid al-Fitr Durbar, even as it unveiled strict guidelines to prevent a breakdown of law and order during the celebrations. The government said the decision, approved by Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, followed credible intelligence reports indicating attempts by some individuals to create unrest during the Salah period. In a statement issued on Wednesday by the Commissioner for Information and Internal Affairs, Ibrahim Abdullahi Wade Ya, the government said it's remained committed to preserving Kano's cultural heritage, but would prioritize peace and security. According to the statement, Hawan Idi, that's the Eid Durbar, will be conducted by Emir Sanusi from the Kofa Mata Eid ground through designated routes to Gidan Shetima, terminating at Kafo Fatalwa of the Emir's palace. It added that Hawan Nasarawa would be held in a modified form without horseback displays, while Hawan Daushe, Hawan Fanisau, and Hawan Durai have been suspended for the time being in the interest of public safety. The government said all security agencies had been directed to intensify surveillance and ensure strict compliance with the directives before, during, and after the festive period. I think what stood out to me is the fact that the Kano State wants to preserve the cultural heritage of its people, especially at shrine times. And I don't know if you would agree with me on this, that it's in times of turmoil that, sometimes some of these things should be preserved. We've seen the number of times that the northern region has been plied with insecurity and how people have lost their lives and whatnot and are even displaced. Some have lost their families, and during these times, it reminds you of the times that you've lost, or the times that could be, or what could be. Do you think the Kano State governor or government is, right in, trying to preserve the cultural heritage by allowing the Durbar to go on, but also putting in place stricter security guidelines to ensure that the people are also safe?
Well, I don't see the way you're saying it.
Okay.
I see it as a deliberate statement by the Kano State government and stakeholders in Kano State to show to those of them who will try to create unrest that they can't hold the state to ransom.
Okay.
I see it as a show of unity. I see it as a show of solidarity. And I see it as a show of strength that the government of Kano State will not be held to ransom by any group of insurgents. And that is why they have allowed it to go on with stricter more stringent rules and regulations to ensure the safety of people that will be involved. And I must commend the governor of Kano State, the Emir, and other critical stakeholders in Kano State for their willingness to stand firm to ensure that no part of Kano will be held to ransom by the insurgents. And that is what I think Nigerians everywhere should emulate. We should not allow these terrorists influence our way of life. We should not allow this, because these people, their aim basically, to me, their aim basically, I don't buy into the whole religious camouflage that they're doing. I don't buy into that. Their aim is to cause mayhem, to cause havoc, right? And the only way we can show them that they are not winning is for us to stand tall and to continue with our activities, as far as making contingency security plans to ensure that our lifestyle or our way of life is being protected. So I see it as a show, as a way, to tell Nigeria, to tell Africa, to tell the world that Kano State will not be under the auspices or under the control, direct or indirect control of any terrorist group. And I applaud the governor as well as other critical stakeholders in that state for standing tall and standing strong for democracy.
Okay, I also respect the Kano State government for, standing their ground and saying no to intimidation. But on the flip side, I like to play the devil's advocate. You know me for that. On the flip side, wouldn't this go a long way to aggravate these terrorists? Because it's like, oh, we can't do anything, right? Watch us do something. These people obviously they like to show off their power, how powerful they are and how they can intimidate the governments, the people, and then cause harm and then fear within the people. That's what they thrive on. So seeing such a show of, a display of such boldness in the face of these calamities, are we not in a way also risking the life of the people in Kano State?
Well, let me state something very, very clearly. A government should not be influenced by non-state actors, especially those of them who are violent and confrontational in their approach. So if what Kano State is doing is going to aggravate the terrorists, then kudos to them. What I will pray and what I am hoping is that Kano State will match their words with actions. There should be security operatives, flooding to Kano during this period. Everywhere should be airtight. There should be no room for loopholes. There should be no point of entry for the terrorists. Everywhere should be, security should be on lock. Everything should be airtight. And if the terrorists are stupid enough to come into that place to cause havoc, they should be captured and dealt with publicly. That's what and I'm sure that before the governor should have would have made his decision, he should have considered, all these angles, and I'm sure that he has deployed, the necessary mechanisms to ensure that everywhere is airtight. Like I said, there needs to be a show of solidarity, that the government of Kano State is not influenced by non-state actors, either directly or indirectly. Because if we start cancelling events and start cancelling, state functions because of the fear of terrorists, it gives them a sort of pride that they are winning, they are gaining ground. If because of the terrorists and insurgents, government, the federal government, state government starts cancelling activities, start adjusting their schedules to accommodate the activities of these terrorists, out of fear. That means that they're aggressively taking over the government. So there needs to be a show for us. We should start confronting these issues head on. You understand? You catch them, you send them to their maker, and life goes on. So, like I said, the government of Kano, what the government of Kano State is doing is commendable. Whether he's aggravating anybody, any group of persons, that's their business. What I am hoping and what I am praying is that the government of Kano State should match their words with actions and deploy a security mechanism that is very, very airtight. I'm not a Muslim, but I'll be following up the series of events live because I want to see what will happen. And I'm hoping that the government of Kano State do not disappoint me. So that I'll come back here again to tell you how formidable governments can be when they want to be.
Okay, I was almost applauding your statement. Last year, recall that our October 1st, festivities was kind of like curtailed, also due to some insecurity. It was later we realized that it was due to some coup threats and whatnot. So if a national or important celebration as our Independence Day could be curtailed or cut, why can't something as the Durbar in the northern state also be cancelled to ensure the safety of people in that state? Is the safety is one Nigerian, no matter their position, in their position in Nigeria more important than the lives and properties of many Nigerians?
What was the presidency reason for the cancellation of the parade?
I actually have forgotten. Can you recall? Can you remind me?
I'm asking you now. Because
I'm saying I have forgotten.
You said it was because of a coup, right?
I said it was, no. Now, I said it was cancelled. The first, October 1st was cancelled, right?
The parade was cancelled.
Yes, it was. Yes, the parade was cancelled. The celebration was also curtailed in some form. It was scaled down, in some sorts.
So, I'm sorry.
The parade was cancelled.
I'm sorry. What I know, because
okay,
what I know was that the parade itself at Eagle Square was cancelled.
Yes.
I don't know of the celebration being curtailed anywhere else.
But did that last year, October 1st, did you really feel the spirit of independence in Nigeria? Did you feel, as compared to other years where we see the celebration, whether from the Eagle Center and other places, did you feel the spirit of independence last year, October 1st?
Well, Tonya, I don't know about you, but local governments in River States celebrated Independence Day.
But I'm just, when I say feel it, as compared to other years, what I'm saying is that, hold on. Okay, Sam, let's not get, emotional. Roll yourself in, let me roll myself in. I said,
Okay.
I said, right?
Right.
I said that last year, it was curtailed and then scaled down.
How was it scaled down?
It was not scaled down.
How? I'm asking how. Apart from the cancellation of the parade at Eagle Square, were there any other instructions given by the presidency to scale down October 1st independence?
So it was not scaled down.
I'm asking you now.
I said it was scaled down. You said it was not scaled down. I'm asking you.
Wait, you
it was not scaled down.
By who?
Okay, let's.
By who or what?
Sammy, can we move on?
No. We're having a discussion.
We're having a discussion, but it's not to you to ask me a question. I'm asking you, and you've answered.
I need clarity for me to.
No, you've answered. It's not. For me
to be able to answer your question,
we did not have time.
I need to understand the context of the question.
Okay, so give me the space.
So
it
was saying the Independence Day was scaled down and cancelled and whatnot. Like I said, the only thing I know of is that the presidency cancelled the parade.
Okay.
So apart from the parade, what else was done? But because obviously the only institution with the capacity to cancel independence and its totality is the presidency. I stand to be corrected anyway. So if the presidency cancelled the parade and did not cancel any other aspects of the Independence Day celebration, how was it scaled down? That's my question.
Okay. Moving on, like I said, if it's happened due to, well, first of all, it was in solidarity to, the happenings in Nigeria, our insecurity, our economic hardship and whatnot, it was scaled down. My question is this: if it can be done on the national level, if the Independence Square parade, whatever, can be cancelled on the national level, because that's the seat of power in Nigeria. It trickles down to other states as well. It's like not every Nigerian can go straight to Abuja and then celebrate Independence Day. But it was cancelled. The major event was cancelled. The parade was cancelled in Eagle Square. If that could be cancelled, why can't the Durbar also be cancelled? Just recently we saw suicide bombings in Maiduguri. We saw the vulnerable places that were bombed by these individuals. The parade ground the Durbar ground is going to be infused with different people. We don't even know how. We don't have much intelligence gathering, obviously, because if we had known, we would have prevented the suicide bombings. We don't have as much as we need. It's facts. That's facts. We do not have enough information. That's why some of these atrocities are carried out so many times before it's being, stopped. Now the question is this: do we have enough information to ensure, 100% ensure the safety of people in Kano State due to this Durbar?
Well, first of all, let me go back to the Independence Day. The Independence Day parade was cancelled. The parade was cancelled because the president, thought it wise to stand in solidarity with Nigeria as a result of the hardship we're facing as of that time regarding the effects of fuel subsidy and all that before things stabilized a bit. It was not cancelled as a result of some sort of fear of non-state actors. That's not the case.
Are you saying that's what I implied? I said in solidarity to Nigeria due to our economic situation.
What I'm saying now.
Okay, no, I know, but you have a beautiful way of twisting information. So I needed to clarify that.
Here we are again.
Okay, please go ahead.
So, like I said, the presidency did not cancel the parade out of some sort of fear of non-state actors. That's not what happened. And I know that the Independence Day was celebrated across the 36 states of Nigeria, across the 774 local governments in the earth, just as it used to be. The only difference was the parade at Eagle Square, right? And which the president gave reasons why he thought it wise to seize on it at that time. Okay. Now, what you're saying is an entirely different issue. You're saying that the Kano state government should suspend a state function. I'm
not saying they should suspend. Don't twist my word. I said, I was asking a question. Considering, if due to economic hardship, an independence celebration parade, something that the people look forward to, especially whether we are facing economic hardship or something, we are looking forward to that, could be cancelled. Is it not possible for the Kano state government to also, due to security reason, also suspend the Durbar celebration in Kano state? That's what I said. I'm asking them to.
Okay.
It's a question.
Okay. Like I said, the governor is the #1 citizen of the state. And as for your claims of not having enough information, well, the governor has been properly informed by security advisors. And if he feels that he and his team has the capacity to ensure that no miscreants will come there and constitute havoc, then he's the governor. He was elected by the people. He has so much information than any of us has as regards the issues of the state, and we should be able to trust in him and ensure that he has the capacity to protect the lives and properties, of his people. So I don't think we should question the capacity of the governor, because that's what we are doing. If we continue in this state, we are questioning the capacity of the government.
And it's not wrong to question the capacity of a government in protecting the lives of people with what has been happening so far in the northern part. Is it wrong for us to question if they have the capacity to protect the lives and properties of the people in Kano State? Because if I'm wrong, then I'd rather be wrong.
Well, Toda, I'm not going to go into that hole with you.
Okay, please
I'm not going into that hole with you.
Good.
But what I'll say is that the governor has been briefed by security chiefs. For him to take that decision, he has been briefed, and he has employed the necessary security mechanisms to ensure the protection of the people in due for the celebration. Okay. So what I am hoping is that they've calculated all their mathematics, they have crossed their T's and they have dotted their I's, and I pray that they come out on top. That's what I will say.
All right. I'm wishing the people of Kano the very best in their celebration. I love the fact that the government is trying to preserve the cultural heritage of the people, and then also stand strong against insecurity, and then send a strong message across to the terrorist group. So I'm also hoping that as they are making these statements as well, they are also able to back it up. Let's talk more actions. All right, moving on. Federal High Court sitting in Warri, Delta State, has affirmed that Nigerians are legally allowed to record police officers while they carry out their duties in public spaces. The ruling is seen as a major step towards strengthening accountability within the country's law enforcement system. Delivering judgment, Justice H.A. made it clear that police officers must conduct themselves within the limits of the law when engaging with citizens. The court stressed that officers are required to wear visible name tags and clearly displays their service numbers during operations. This, the judge noted, is necessary to ensure transparency and proper identification. The court further held that no officer has the right to harass, intimidate, or arrest any individual for recording them in the course of their public duties. It also ruled against the seizure or destruction of mobile phones used for such recordings, describing such actions as unlawful and a violation of fundamental rights. The suit was filed by Maxwell Uwefo, who approached the court after alleging that his rights were breached during an encounter with security operatives. He argued that he was unlawfully targeted while attempting to document police activities. Samuel, what do you have to say to those judgments? Do you think it's actually right that the people are being empowered to video police officers when they are carrying out their public duties? I like the public duties because they are offering services to the public. So if they are doing the right thing, shouldn't they should they be mindful if they're being recorded or not?
No, you're doing your job. Do you mind being recorded?
No, I'm being recorded.
So everybody should be recorded.
Okay. Is that all you have to say?
What do you want me to say again?
Okay, and then in terms of transparency in the police force as well, I mean, sometimes these they take off their name tags and then identification numbers and what's not to, you know, avoid being identified. Yes. So what do you have to say concerning this judgment as well?
That's taking off their name tags and other means of identification is very, very wrong. You know, if possible, if they can get tattoos on their faces where we can use to identify them, I think that would be very much prudent. And I hope that the policymakers will consider it in our policy framework, because there needs to be some sort of identification for them to be some sort of accountability, owing to the fact that some of the members of the police force have brought disgrace to an institution that is supposed to be as exhausted as the Nigerian police force. So people that have brought shame and disrespect to the police force should be identified and rooted out to encourage the public, you know, to walk hand in hand with the system.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Normalcy returns to Maiduguri, the epicenter of Nigeria's 17-year Islamist insurgency, yesterday, following President Bola Tinubu's directive that all service chiefs must relocate to the Borno state capital, as the theater of Boko Haram ISWAP experienced a resurgence of attacks and bombings. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Oluyede, and then the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Weda Shaibu, arrived at Maiduguri Air Force Base and proceeded straight to the Theatre Command Headquarters Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadin Kai, ahead of Vice President Kashim Shettima's visit to the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital to commensurate with the victims of Monday night's multiple bomb explosions. Also condemning the explosions yesterday, the African Union has sought global support for Nigeria's war against violent extremism. This is coming 1 month after 100 American soldiers arrived in Abuja to support the government's security efforts in its fight against armed and jihadist groups, destabilizing several regions of the country. Reacting to the attacks in a statement issued by Noor Sheikh, his spokesperson Mahmoud Yusuf, the AU chairperson, said the organization stands in full solidarity with the government and the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria during this difficult time and extends its deepest condolences to the families of the victims, while wishing speedy recovery to those injured. Yusuf urged the international community to scale up support to Nigeria and the Lake Chad Basin region at large to address rising terrorism. The support, he said, should come through enhanced humanitarian assistance, capacity building, intelligence sharing, and sustained investment in stabilizing and developing initiatives aimed at addressing the root causes of violent extremism. Sammy, do you have anything to say to this? We, African Union, calling for international support to, you know, fight against terrorism here in Nigeria.
Well, terrorism is a global issue, so I don't find it surprising that the African Union, being the highest regional body in Africa, you know, pledges support for Nigeria, owing to the fact that Nigeria is one of the pillars, if not the most important pillar in the existence of the African Union. So I think it's beautiful that the AU, you know, stands in solidarity with us at this difficult time. And I urge the AU to not just, you know, say a few words, but also to match it up with action. There should be collaboration between African states in ensuring that, you know, they deal with the scourge of terrorism and banditry in Nigeria. Like I said, it's a global problem, and if not properly contained and, you know, dealt with in Nigeria, it might spread to other African states.
I mean, I think I will agree with you on that. But in asking for support, I like the statement where it's actually showed and stated that 100 or more U.S. soldiers were brought in to support us. I mean, so far we want to see what I'm looking for the right word so that you don't misquote me. You know, if I'm talking to you, I need to be very, very careful. So, okay, the U.S. have been boots on ground trying to help us salvage our security situation, right? Now we're calling for more hands on deck. I mean, like you rightfully pointed out, insecurity or security issues is a global, it's a global concern. So we need different bodies, different people helping us or aiding us in fighting terrorism. But other than that, how do we ensure that these people coming in to support us are really supporting us? How do we see it? In what ways would we experience that relief in the fight against terrorism if they should come and assist us?
In what ways?
In what way? Okay, because some will say that, we were, after the Sokoto bombing in December, right? Sokoto bombing in December, we were expecting to see some sort of, reduction in terrorist attacks. We've not seen bombings or suicide bombings in a while. We are used to seeing sporadic attacks. We used to see sporadic shootings and what's not. But it seems like these people have taken it a scale up, like they've scaled up the operations. We've not seen bombings in a while in Nigeria. Yes, we are still fighting insecurity, but we've not experienced bombings in a while. And then just on Monday, we experienced bombings. So are we really going forward or are we going back? The bodies are coming to support us. In what way are we to experience that relief? How are we supposed to know that their support is actually working?
Well, Tonya, 75 people were killed yesterday. 75 SWAT members were killed yesterday. Prior to that time, the army had reclaimed occupied areas of Borno states by the insurgents within, I think, 2 or 3 places within last week. I don't know if you know that anyway. As well as other successes that our military has had. So I think people should be more open-minded to the events, that is taking place, and not just focus on the bad news. We should be able to do a comparative analysis of the good news and the bad news. The problem is when you hear people die, you see it everywhere on social media. But when you hear that our troops are doing this, our troops are doing that, people just people are not interested in it. So it looks like the killings are more than the successes of our military. But I assure you that that's not the case. Our military is doing what they can, with the support of its international partners to ensure that the scourge of banditry and terrorism is dealt with. And I must say that as a country, as a people, as a society, we should support our military by giving them intelligence to ensure that this thing is nipped in the bud.
Thank you very much for giving out the information, because like I rightfully pointed out, bad news seems to travel faster and wider than good news. So sometimes the people need to hear some of these actions. That's why I asked my question: how do the people experience it? So I'm glad you have your facts and you stated them. It feels good, doesn't it? All right, now let's move on to intelligence sharing. You mentioned intelligence sharing. We do know that, like, for example, Nigeria is surrounded by vulnerable states, vulnerable countries, prone to, terrorist infiltration and what's not. How important is intelligence sharing in curbing insecurity in the Western, or in Africa in general? Because if it affects one country, it's going to affect the other, just as we've experienced so far. So how do we ensure that intelligence sharing is, it's continued, or it's been proposed, or it's been received and it's been given as well?
Well, the Nigerian government, under the visionary leadership of His Excellency Amebola Tinubu, has already set in events in motion to ensure that collaboration between African countries and beyond African countries and the fights against terrorism are being made. And we can already see some of the fruits of such intelligence gathering, which has led to the killings of the ISWAP and Boko Haram, insurgents, within the region. And intelligence is very pivotal to the success of, every criminal attack process. Because the only way for you to be able to get where the criminal is, you should know where he is, first of all. And sometimes these guys move around a lot. They move light and they move quick. So it is essential that intelligence is shared at all times, at any and all times, to ensure that we catch these guys before they slip out of the net.
Thank you for that. All right, let's move on to our next story. Nigerians were taken aback when the controversial Kaduna-based Islamic cleric Sheikh Abubakar Gumi told the world in a television program recently that the federal government of Nigeria knows all the terrorists by their name and location. Speaking in a recent interview, Gumi addressed the rumors that he negotiates with bandits on his own, insisting that he had always gone along with officers of the Nigerian police, the Department of State Services, and the military, as well as other security agents. He said his interactions with armed groups were coordinated closely with security agencies. He revealed that some of his efforts took him deep into forests and remote communities, sometimes even accompanied by local women. In fact, he said, when we went to one forest, I even went with women into the bush. Gumi has long advocated dialogue as a tool to reduce violence, often sparking controversy for interacting with groups considered enemies of the state. He argued that these efforts complement security operations rather than replace them, highlighting the importance of negotiation alongside law enforcement. These are very bold allegations. Very bold allegations. I recall that some time ago, Gumi was invited by the Nigerian police, by the Nigerian government to, give information, since he had so much, knowledge on the activities of these bandits. Today, recently, Gumi has made some serious allegations stating that the federal government know these bandits and terrorists by name and location. He also stated that he does not go to these negotiations alone. He goes with Department of State Security, the army operatives and whatnot, which means that our security forces, security agencies should have enough information who these people are, where they live, how to get them, and what's not if they are willing. Does this support a statement of a former head of state saying that if insecurity should linger more than, a certain amount of time, the federal government is involved? Or the government of, not federal government, the government of the country is involved? I don't want to just make it seem like Nigeria alone. But do you agree with that statement due to what Gumi has revealed so far?
Well, first of all, I don't take the ramblings of Gumi seriously. I think he's a man that needs to have his head checked. Any claims he's making, if there is any truth to his claims, he should be able to back it up with evidence. Names, pictures of the whole encounter, going to meet the bandits with the security agency. He should back it up with pictures. Or he should provide names of those people, those domestic DSS or whatever that accompanies him on such. He should provide names so that Nigerians should be aware that is what is going on. Anybody can just wake up one morning, take whatever they want to take and, start making outrageous claims. It doesn't make them true.
But is Gumi anybody?
Well, is Gumi not a Nigerian?
He's a Nigerian, but is he any Nigerian?
I don't understand. What makes him different from me? Or makes him different from you?
Oh, I do not know.
I
do not know. I do not negotiate with terrorists on behalf of the federal government. So obviously he's way different from me. Way different from me.
So from what you're saying, the federal government gives Gumi approval to negotiate with
terrorists? I'm saying, no, don't prove me wrong. Don't try to say, I said. You were asking me what's the difference between Gumi and myself, and I said I do not negotiate with terrorists like Gumi does. I did not say he's doing that.
You said on behalf of the federal government.
On behalf of the federal government.
So I'm asking now, are you saying that the federal government gives approval to Gumi to negotiate with terrorists? Is that what you're saying?
Do you know that if you have an issue with a friend, I can, on your behalf, try to negotiate terms and conditions without your permission?
Really?
I can do that. It's not possible.
I've not heard that
So
before.
you've not had a situation, or even at home, when maybe there is a domestic issue, and then an elder, maybe wife and husband and wife are having disputes, and none of them wants to, come and then consult. So an elder sitting behind, like, look, what you guys are doing is not right. I want to, without their permission. You've never experienced that.
Well, what I know is that the elder will speak to one of the parties and gets his feelers before he proceeds.
Okay.
People don't just interfere.
I mean, that's what you're saying.
People don't just interfere in issues, no.
So you mean that all this while that Gumi has been negotiating with these bandits without the approval of the federal government, why have the federal government not called this guy to order? Like I stated, some time ago he was brought in for questioning. We've not seen what happened. We've not heard anything else again. And then even after that, he still had the boldness to go on national television, international television, and make such bold claims. Now my question is this: what could be giving him that boldness to do what he's doing?
Well, like I said, if there are any evidence showing that the federal government, and besides, when we're talking about, Gumi has been saying things like this for quite a while.
So why hasn't he been stopped?
I'm coming now. Listen to me.
Okay.
He has been, I think he has been saying things like this from the Goodluck Jonathan's administration. I think Goodluck.
That long, right?
Hold on. Even before the Goodluck Jonathan's administration. So every time he told me that successive governments, if that's what you're saying anyway, that successive governments, you know, all of them make deals with Gumi.
I'm asking. No, my question, I'm just asking. No, my question, I asked a question and you've not answered my questions, Sammy. I do not like maneuvering. I asked a simple question, like you rightfully pointed out. So all these governments, we're aware of, quote unquote, like you said, this madman, you see somebody can wake up one day, take whatever they want to take, and then make certain rumblings. So, if the federal governments, all the successive governments, the past governments, and whoever, knowing fully well the activities of this man over the years, have still not been able to stop him, what could be the reason why?
Stop him? What do you mean by stop him?
Stop him. So wait, are you trying to tell me that if an individual can boldly go on international television, national television, and say the federal government at this critical time when people are losing... Let me finish, okay? Let me finish. Knowing fully well that the federal government is just saying that the federal government knows their names down to where they are living and everything, it's not doing anything about it. Why is this individual not stopped? Whether Sore is also doing it, whether Peter Obi is also doing it, whether is Danjuma is also doing it, whoever is doing it, I'm asking, if people can make such claims, why are we not stopping them, knowing that the way to look to our international bodies, we are asking for international communities to get involved with us fighting against terrorism. Meanwhile, some people are out there making claims that our federal government is compromised. Why are we not doing anything against these people?
Gumi does not speak on behalf of the Nigerian states.
But he's making allegations that it's the federal government in bad light. So why hasn't this man...
Who doesn't make allegations that...
I know they're allowed for freedom of speech and expression, but is it everything that a person is supposed to get away with it? Are we living in a lawless country?
Now listen now. Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay, beautiful. Now, you see, the thing about Nigerians is, or the thing about some people, some Nigerians, is our inability to look at issues devoid of sentiment and emotions. Now look at what you're saying. Are we living in a lawless country? Why can't people be accountable for their speech and all that? But if these same people are arrested for one thing or the other, you see claims of the federal government is using excessive force, the federal government should release him. RFI made statements recently about the tapping of the what's his name, NSA, Ribadu. That Ribadu's phone was stopped, and he was invited. And he also made statements of poisonous gas using to torture people in detention. Right? He heard it. He was invited, and he has been detained, and investigations have been ongoing. But people have been making claims.
Claims stop RFI from being interrogated.
If you keep interrupting me, then there's no need for me to speak again.
Go ahead.
No, you keep interrupting me, so there's no need. No, don't worry. I'm not saying again. I've been speaking, I'm making analogies. And you keep on interjecting. But when you talk, I'll let you talk.
You do interject when I talk.
But I'll let you talk. I'll let you finish. But you don't let me finish, so there's no need. Don't worry. You have your opinions already, and that's fine. Let's move on.
I'm just asking.
If you wanted to hear my opinion, you will wait for me to finish, and then you ask what I want to ask. But every time I say something that is not okay with it, especially on issues touching on Peter Obi, you get agitated and you interject. So let's move on, please.
Anyway, if you do not want to continue, no problem. Minister, Chieftain of the African Democratic Congress, Kenneth Okonkwo, has faulted President Bola Tinubu's decision to proceed with a state visit to the United Kingdom in the wake of deadly terrorist bombings in Maiduguri, Borno State. Okonkwo described the trip as an act of disrespect to the victims and soldiers killed in the attacks. The opposition chieftain made the remarks during an appearance on channels accusing the president of dancing on the graves of fallen Nigerians by embarking on the London visit, despite the coordinated suicide bombers that tore through a busy market and other areas of Maiduguri on Monday, killing at least 23 people and leaving over 100 others injured. The ADC chieftain argued that cancelling the trip would have sent a powerful message to both Nigerians and the international community about the president's regard for the lives of his citizens and the sacrifices of the country's military. This is the first time in decades that a sitting head of state in Nigeria have been invited to, to meet the monarch of, United Kingdom. This is the first time. This is actually a historic one in our books. But unfortunately, the oppositions are saying that this is not the time to honor such invitations. Sammy, what do you have to say concerning this?
Can I speak without interjection? Okay, well, first of all, I think Kenneth Okonkwo he's not fully immersed with the rudiments of diplomacy, and he does not even know what national issues entails. You see, the president, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, went to the UK, not out of some personal vacation or holiday, but went to meet with the King of England as well as the Prime Minister to discuss multiple issues, spanning from bilateral frameworks or bilateral agreements in security, economy, and what have you. Right? He's going out there to look for solutions to Nigerian problems, economic solutions, security solutions. And that is why he went to the Minister of Defense to see how he can design a security framework, with those of them from the United Kingdom, to ensure that he invests heavily, into securing the lives and properties of Nigerians. To me, that's a smart thing to do. Do you understand me? So, Kenneth Okonkwo, well, he's a member of the opposition, and of course, all they should do is to criticize the government of the day, regardless of the scope of the issue. So yeah, he's just doing his job. He's doing a bad job at it anyway, but then again, he's doing his job. So it's not my fault, or it's not Nigerians' fault that Kenneth Okonkwo does not understand the rudiments, of what is at play. He does not understand how important a visit like this is. The last time a state president, was honored like this a civilian president was 1981, and that was Shehu Shagari. Imagine how long ago that was. The last time a head of state was honored was Ibrahim Babangida, and that was 1989. 1989. So we've had we got into our democratic era in 1999, and that was like the Fourth Republic, and we've had Obasanjo, we have Yar'Adua, we've had Goodluck, we have Buhari. None of these people were considered for such a historic visit, except Tinubu. And let me tell you something, because did you follow it up?
I did.
I followed it up, and the King of England in his speech said that he acknowledged the differences that Nigeria has had with UK in the past, and said that now they're entering into a partnership as equals. Do you know what it means for the United Kingdom? A very influential kingdom in international relations. England, of course, Britain is a very influential, country in international relations. Recognizing an African nation, Nigeria, as an equal. Do you know what it means diplomatically? Do you know the significance of that in international relations? That shows that neo-colonialism and neo-imperialism should have no place in Nigeria. And the recognition of the United Kingdom, of Nigeria's sovereignty, shows that Nigeria has grown to the point where we can lose our shackles of neo-colonialistic powers and neo-imperialistic powers. And that should be commended under the leadership of His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, the Jagaban of Nigeria. So Kenneth Okonkwo, is a member of the opposition, and he does, like I said, he does a very bad job at it. If you want to criticize a government, you should be constructive, in your criticisms, and not just, open your mouth and do what you call the drum and trumpet method, where you just say anything that comes into your head. That is not how the job is being done. So I would advise Kenneth Okonkwo to go back and study his books, consult his notes, and come up with certain things that he can use to criticize the government, not just wake up one morning and say anything that comes into his head. That's not how the job is being done. That's my take on the matter. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Blowouts. I had so much fun today. Samuel, did you have fun?
Well, what I experienced was my resistance at your attempt at bullying me. But thank God I escaped through, and I want to thank the good Lord Almighty for giving me the grace and the courage to scale through your bullish attempts, and I hope that He will continue to empower me with the necessary competency to withstand your bullying.
Amen. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube. Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on X, Atlantic TV Net. Also watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Remember, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Open Conversation comes up shortly. Please don't go away. Thank you so much for watching. I am Antonia Asabel.